This segment of the news is brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.
Welcome back. In news on the crime beat, police arrest 5 men and a teenage female for marijuana possession yesterday. According to reports, shortly after 11 p.m., Mobile Division officers acting on intelligence conducted a search of a building, Flex Terrace, Malcolm Road, where they discovered a quantity of marijuana. 6 persons were taken into custody and are expected to appear in court later this week to be formally charged. Meantime, police here in the capital recovered an illegal firearm yesterday. According to reports, shortly after 4 p.m., officers from the Internal Security Division acting on intelligence searched an abandoned building located on West End Avenue and Blue Hill Road and discovered a Colt Commander 9mm pistol with an empty magazine. No arrests were made. Police, however, are investigating this matter. Police also on the hunt for the man responsible for an armed robbery here in the capital yesterday. They're appealing to you, the general public, for any assistance. Reports say that shortly after 11 p.m., a man was standing outside his residence on Hamster Road when he was approached by a male armed with a handgun who robbed him of cash and an iPhone before speeding away in a Toyota Passo, license plate number AD 2032. Investigations are ongoing. The Ministry of Tourism and Aviation acknowledging the recent update to the U.S. travel advisory for the Bahamas. In a statement released yesterday, the ministry noted that overall their guidance to citizens remains a level 2 advisory, recommending caution but not urging delay or cancellation of travel plans to our islands. That said, the ministry recommends that travelers to any destination maintain awareness of their surroundings and exercise basic precautions as they likely would in their home cities and when not on holiday. The statement also notes that the vast majority of the country's 6 million annual visitors do so without any incident whatsoever. According to the Royal Bahamas Police Force's data last year, there were only 43 incidents involving tourists, 30 of which involved U.S. nationals, and nearly all were minor offenses. The Ministry of Tourism states that it appreciates the efforts of law enforcement and it congratulates authorities on the progress they made in significantly reducing serious crimes like murder, which is 25%, armed robbery, which is 18%, attempted robbery, 19%, and shoplifting, 23%. The safety of residents and visitors are of paramount importance, adding that aggressive efforts are underway across the relevant Bahamian ministries and departments to ensure that our islands remain a destination that provides a welcoming environment where visitors enjoy our culture and our citizens enjoy economic opportunity. The Progressive Liberal Party renews calls for 2 cabinet ministers to resign or be dismissed. In a statement released yesterday, the PLP said that in the case of the Minister of National Security, Marvin Dames, the evidence against him is even more compelling given what they describe as his public meltdown in the House of Assembly last week. Now, Mr. Dames denies that this happened even when PLP members of Parliament were there, including opposition leader Philip Davis. The party says the truth is clear and Mr. Dames is out of control. The statement also called for Mr. Dames or Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis to say whether or not Mr. Dames was armed in the House of Assembly during his outbursts, as his denial of the incident, they say, is worrying given that MPs and the press witnessed and reported what happened. This is the 3rd call made by the party following former PHA Chairman Frank Smith's extortion and bribery trial, where Chief Magistrate Joyanne Ferguson Pratt criticized both Health Minister Dr. Dwayne Sands and Mr. Dames for their role they played in the matter. Water and Sewage Chairman and MP for Long Island Adrian Gibson kicked off a busy day on the island this past Thursday before moving on to 2 other southern islands. At the first stop, Mr. Gibson, along with other WSC officials, of the reverse osmosis plant in the Duncantown settlement. The chairman indicates that it has a 15,000-gallon capacity for storage in addition to what it produces every day. That said, he says that the residents in Ragged Island are more than adequately sourced. Ragged Island is home to an estimated 32 Bahamians. In 2017, Hurricane Irma devastated the sparsely populated remote island, leaving it without basic utilities, including water. Mr. Gibson emphasized the government's obligation to provide water, adding that there's anticipation for further construction and development, so the corporation has factored in the island's growth by doubling the water capacity. Mr. Gibson also indicated that WSC officials were assessing the plan and works that the firm has to carry, adding that there's anticipation for further construction and development, so the corporation has factored in the island's growth by doubling the water capacity. Mr. Gibson also indicated that WSC officials were assessing the plan and works that the firm has to carry out on that island. The previous plant, approximately 2,000 gallons, was blown away in the storm. However, this plant has a capacity for 5,000 gallons. The chairman says the firm anticipates doing its part to restore Ragged Island: a standby generator, a solar power reverse osmosis plant, electrical upgrades are among other initiatives on the drawing board for Ragged Island. The delegation also traveled to Crooked Island and Acklands before returning to New Providence. Well, that wraps up news this evening. Now a check on sports.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.